So, Dave, a 10 episode series on Hulu. I have seen this series three times. It's like 30 hours of my life. Now, I don't know why I find the series so relatable. Maybe it's because it's about an average Joe going from the corporate world, discovering he's an amazing white rapper. All of a sudden, he's producing records and going to Justin Bieber parties. Now, I may or not have had dreams about that before. Good on you, Little Dicky. Let's get into Dave and why I've really watched it three times. So as mentioned, Dave is a 10 episode series on Hulu. If you're in New Zealand, it's on Neon, I believe. And if you're in Australia, it's on Flix. Not sure why you guys don't have Hulu yet, but you have no COVID, so it's a good trade-off. But it's the kind of fictional, real-life story of David Bird, who calls the series Dave. So in real life as well, his rapping name is Little Dicky. Comedically, he usually raps and jokes about how he's got a little dick, which is played on a lot. But we're looking at a fictional portrayal of really his experience of going from that average Joe in the corporate world and really making it in LA. And along this journey, we get to know his girlfriend, played by Taylor Mislack, and we also meet a range of other characters like his hive man Gata, his manager and best friend named Andrew Santino, other friends Travis, played by Travis Bennett and Christina Coe. We learn about their side stories as well, and all together we go on this journey, what it's like to be in LA, be this awkward character, and really try and make it in the music industry. Now, some other key things to note about this series: some of the episodes are directed by Greg Mottola, and one of the producers, a really famous comedian, Kevin Hart, was involved in this series. So another producer for this is Scooter Braun, who is the record executive and music manager for Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber. So this thing's stacked. So just on top of that, I love the cameos in this. I actually feel when you get Little Dicky meeting some of these characters before, my favorite probably being when he meets Kourtney Kardashian, who now I really like Kourtney Kardashian just because of this interaction with Little Dicky. I think she's hilarious. You actually get a glimpse of what it was probably like for Little Dicky when he first met these people. I think this series, with his awkwardness, his interactions with like YG, Kourtney Kardashian, Justin Bieber, Benny Blanco, is just so classic. It's so easy to watch and so fun to watch. And it's just like, the awkwardness is almost like you're putting yourself in his shoes and going, shit, I'd be kind of awkward there as well. So I've already touched on like so many likes, cameos, the cast, the characters. Each of the character takes on its own little backstory somehow in 10 episodes, which I really like. It's almost like there's an episode dedicated to each character, and they're cool little backstories. I really enjoyed them. I actually feel that my favorite thing though about the series is just Little Dicky's unique spin on the world, and it reminded me a lot of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Completely different type of humor, completely different type of characters. Same foundation though for a good comedy. Awkward humor, centered around one person in LA, their interaction with celebrities, pretty much playing themselves, pretty much doing some fictional, comedic, exaggerated versions of their real life interaction with these characters. There is some dislikes. Let's start with, it's a little bit crass in a couple of episodes, like unnecessary. There's a bit of toilet humor, I guess you'd call it toilet humor, but you see some stuff, you just you get it without seeing it, and you kind of don't know when it's coming, and then you have to see it, and then you just you might be eating dinner or something, and that's ruined. That loses some marks for me. I thought it was a bit unnecessary. For something already so funny, and like one thing happens towards the end that I was like, this is disgusting. Like, I get it. And it's also impractical. Like, no one in their right mind goes where he goes for this thing. Like, there's so much bush and trees around in the scene. I'm just like, this makes no sense. This is frustrating. This isn't even funny. So it loses a few marks on the crass. It touches a lot of subjects sexually, which in one episode is hilarious, but in others, it's just like, whoa. So I found it just went a little bit too far in some of those scenes. For some people, you guys might love it, but for me personally, I just thought it went a bit far. So some scenes I liked. I love all the cameos. Like, the Kourtney Kardashian conversation is my favorite. I also really like the scene with Gada where they're at a barbecue. Garda offers up some salmon. It's just by that stage of the series, I'm just like, I love this guy. Absolutely love this guy. But my favorite scenes by far is any Little Dicky freestyle rap. These raps are custom made for the series. We just get to see Little Dicky's talent. I think he's so talented. I think he raps so cool. He's got an awesome voice. And we are seeing the rise of a YouTube star that is probably the first guy as an adult, like late 20s. I think he's in his early 30s now, who's used YouTube as a mechanism to explore his rapping talent. And he's made his way into the entertainment industry. I think he used to work in advertising or something. So good on him. Really watchable show. Very funny. Unique humor. Kind of awkward humor. Great cast. I found it to be very rewatchable. Things to know is it could be a little bit crass. It could have some sexual topics that might put you off it a little bit. So just keep that in mind and maybe be wary, or you could skip some scenes. Other than that, really good series. I give it an A-, and I cannot wait for season 2, which is currently in production. So awesome. Thanks for checking this out. Let me know what you think.